Methods are just functions inside of a class. As a matter of fact, you initialize them the exact same way that you would a function, including using the function keyword. In object-oriented programming, the objects that we're modeling can have characteristics that define them, but they can also perform certain actions. For example, our dog can bark and walk, our car can turn on and even drive. We represent those actions with methods. Methods can also have visibility modifiers, but we won't look at those here either. We'll just set everything to public. Just like before, we're going to be building off of our previous class. So what we'll do is we'll just copy it from our previous tutorial, paste it in here, and we'll start coding from this point up. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start creating our methods inside the class. They're going to come after the properties. So if you go look at the structure, I have constants up top, then I have all the properties, and then I'm going to define all the methods. Why do I place them right here? Well, that's just per convention. Do you have to do it? No, but it is a really good practice. So the way you would define a method within a class is exactly the same way you defined functions up until now. The only difference is we're going to add this optional visibility modifier. I think it's just good practice to always add it, but everything else will be the same. Function, for example, our dog can walk. That is an action, that is a method, and all it's going to say is walking. So as you can see, there's our function. This is exactly what we've been doing so far. This shouldn't be anything new. This is literally the exact same thing. So the only difference is when it's inside a class, it's called a method. Now, I know I put an echo statement right here. If we're building some kind of robot dog, this would be the place where we would initialize the servos and actually cause them to walk, right? We're not doing that, so I'm just doing something pretty easy where it says I'm walking. All right, but let's create another one that's probably better suited for the echo function, and that's bark. So here's our second method, and all we're going to say is echo I'm barking. Pretty simple, right? Methods, just like functions, can have parameters. We can pass arguments to the method after we instantiate the class. So we can say something like public function sleep, and what we're going to be passing here is the energy level. If energy level is less than 40, some arbitrary unit, echo I'm sleeping, else echo I don't want to sleep. We can also make these optional if we want. So for example, we could initialize this to 100. So if you call this method without passing an argument to it, it'll automatically default to I don't want to sleep. So let's go ahead and instantiate. I think we created a few methods, so we'll go ahead and instantiate our class. Dog is equal to new dog, and then we can call the methods with the object operator. So we just say dog walk, and we can say dog bark. We can also say dog sleep without passing an argument, and we can say dog sleep with an argument, right? So we'll say something that's less than 40, like for example 20. Let's open up our browser and see what we get. And there we have it. I'm walking, I'm barking, I don't want to sleep when the first time we call the sleep method without passing an argument, and then we get I'm sleeping the second time when we actually do pass an argument. We can do the same thing with our car class. So let's go down here, select our car class, copy it, and paste it so that we can build upon what we've done so far. Again, underneath the properties, I'm going to start defining some methods. So public function, something that probably every car can do is turn on. So we can say echo I'm on. Another function or method, public function, you guessed it, turn off. And then we can say echo I'm off. The last thing, I guess, let's go ahead and pass another argument to this one. So we'll declare this one with a parameter, public function drive, and then we can say is car on. We could set that equal to false, even though you would not do this as a parameter, you would do this as a property somewhere up here, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just worrying about methods, so that's why we're just going to be passing it directly inside this method as an argument. So we'll say something like if is car on, echo I'm driving, else echo you gotta turn me on. So let's go ahead and create our Lamborghini car class. So we'll say Lamborghini is equal to new car. Lamborghini, we can still set properties just like before. Color is equal to black. Lamborghini make, remember, just because we named a variable Lamborghini doesn't mean it knows what it is. So we'll give it Lamborghini, and then we'll say Lamborghini model is equal to the Diablo, which is the best Lamborghini. Now we don't have to set each property. We currently don't have any checks in place, so we don't get any errors. Then we can say something like Lamborghini turn on. Then we can say Lamborghini turn off. Then we can try driving without passing an argument whatsoever to it. And then we can call the drive function and then actually pass an argument. And this time we're going to pass an argument that says true. So if I look over here, it's set to false initially, and we're going to be changing that to true. I'm also just going to add a little break tag right here, just so we can separate out our dog class from our Lamborghini class. We'll go to the browser, hit refresh, and there it is. I'm on, I'm off, you got to turn me on, and I'm driving. We've been accessing class properties and methods after we instantiate the object, but can we access class properties and methods from inside of these methods? Sure we can, by using the this keyword, which we'll cover next time.